Okay, so if you want my completely toxic and unhinged and unhealthy way of making it to where I am, because that's all teaching and mentoring is like being a step ahead of a specific group of people, or not even necessarily group, but anyways, doesn't matter. And then teaching them how to get where you are. And I've done a lot of talking into this phone about the actual real heavy shadow work that I've done to get here, to the point of freely and openly and authentically talking into microphones. But what I haven't gone into is a completely unhinged, unhealthy and toxic way of getting to this level of confidence that, I guess you can't bypass anything this way, because like I just said, I've done the actual soul and shadow work to get here as well. But so I guess it's not really a hack, but what I have experienced as of late is, and it's not even as of late, this is the thing what I mean, where it has sort of been like a hack and a tactic, unhealthy one at that, because it has been going on for years. So it's like combined with soul work, and then boom, you're there. You just need 10 years. Anyways, here it is. Consume and consume and consume. Treat it like an addiction. You're just consuming, with certain addictions. Obviously there's heavier addictions that you can't kick. I don't want to say can't, but anyways, you're most likely not gonna kick it, but just fucking going fully, especially certain ones, you could fucking kill yourself. So addiction probably isn't the best analogy. But anyways, what I found is that with certain addictions, if you go until you don't want to go anymore, that's how you kick an addiction of certain caliber. You just experience it until your consciousness doesn't feel like the need to experience it anymore. And then you don't, because that's like every addict, even the more serious situations that I'm trying to steer clear of here. But anyways, even in those cases, it's like they go to rehab when they finally have had enough. And never before. Like all these intervention shows, they're like sort of being like persuaded into going. Of course it doesn't fucking work. It always works when the person finally is like, all right, I'm ready. I've had enough. So anyways, that's what I think has happened with me. It's like, okay, so like I said, I did the work, but then in years, I'm talking years, all right? Years of consuming. I'm talking content. Searching, seeking, learning. That's what. Basically, I'm just saying, copy my exact lifestyle, and this is how you're going to get there. Even though that also, there's nuances to that. But anyways, seek, search, consume for years. To the point where I'm like at a steady level of not learning anything new anymore. Like going fringe. Different pockets of things in the spirituality realm. Typical finding what works for you, whatever resonates for you. Yeah. And I've gone and been searching and seeking long enough that, even in the more woo-woo of circles, I don't stand to learn anything big concept new. I can learn like small things or different perspective of a thing I already understand, or like a specific detail about something maybe. But big concept things, it's like I get it. I've been studying this long enough, it all leads back to one thing. And like certain basic frameworks. And that's it. I mean, you can only study and search one field so long before you start running around in circles, because yes, there is vast areas of certain pockets and niches of things that I haven't tapped within this realm, of course. And I have never like dug super deep in anything, but it's just been like wide bandwidth of stuff. And yeah, and then you get to a point where it's like, okay, I get the core of it. So I'm not really learning anything else new. And then I'm at that point now, and then I'm also at the point where I've worked through enough of my stuff that I can just ramble. And yeah, so I've gotten to the point, and this has never happened to me before, of where I think I've beaten the addiction of consuming, because I've just spent so long consuming now. It's like I'm on YouTube, and I've never had this before, where it's like, yeah, you're like in seek mode, search mode, like, you know, panning for something good or exciting or something you haven't heard before, and then I'm just scrolling. And that's never happened on YouTube yet. So it's either I'm looking for like a specific message or something that I'm not finding with endless scrolling, or it's like, okay, I've beaten the consume thing. Let's create now. And you see a lot of videos like that where it's like, oh, stop consuming and create. Well, I mean, I guess I'm making one now. But it's kind of the opposite, more of consume as much as you can until you beat the addiction of consumption, and then boom, you are in a pocket of where you have nowhere else to go but create, because you have consumed it all. To at least to my current point of interest or excitement, it's like, all right, well then it's time to do something I find exciting, since I've exhausted all my options in consuming for entertainment purposes and like seeking purposes. So now I guess, yeah, my only option is to create, because there's nothing exciting consumable anymore. Obviously not 100% true, but anyways, as far as this line of thought and constantly circling the same core truths, and it's like, all right, nobody else's voice is, again, and that's another thing that I've realized is a theme as of late. Nobody else's voice seems to do it anymore. Time to use my own. Like, there, in the theme of gotten to a point of such self-trust in the connection to source, so it's like pushing aside the fears of what the unconscious has created, and knowing that we're not really doing that anymore anyway, so we can just full on trust our callings. And being in that level of self-trust has brought me to more and more levels of not seeking something external. And that's another thing as far as my research goals, which, like I said, years and years, to the point of beating the need to consume and seek. Not really seek, it feels like I'm still seeking for something, but it's turned to a turning point of like, okay, well, it's not out there, let me make it. Yeah, just landing at such a place of self-trust that there is minimal need to search for validation or anything like that external. Anything external is like slowly going away. And it's slowly coming into full, I don't need anything external. I can always go with my internal truth. Just the self-trust has reached another level of no longer needing anything external to validate anything I'm working through. So anyway, so that's my really terrible and toxic and unhealthy advice to get to this point. Consume until you can't anymore. But you also do have to do the work of shadow work and soul work and deprogramming and reprogramming and reparenting as well. But let me tell you, it's a good added caveat. Because just kind of pigeonholed myself into creation mode. So there's a really unhealthy way to do it. Don't follow my advice, or do. Whatever, if you got some unhingedness in you, just don't come crying to me, because I told you it's unhinged.